What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with another Tottenham update. Tottenham have beaten Southampton 5-2 today, an absolutely sensational second half performance. But what came out of that game at half time, there were some reports from Fabrizio Romano about Dele Alli, and he's saying that Tottenham are touting Dele Alli out to a lot of European clubs, PSG being one of them. But then there's been some conflicting reports saying that Dele Alli will not be sold. And then Jose Mourinho at full time stated, well, he didn't state anything, but he kind of hinted that Dele might be off.
Yes, there's a lot of rumours flying around. A lot of rumours saying that Dele's been offered to PSG with a loan deal with an option to buy. There's rumours that he's been offered to a number of clubs in Europe. Romano, who's usually very reliable in these things, he said Tottenham have offered him to a number of European clubs, as you said, and they don't want him to be at the club anymore after signing Gareth Bale. So according to Romano, who's on his way out, however, according to the Press Association, they said after the game that Tottenham believe that he's going to be with Spurs after the end of the window. So a few conflicting reports.
What does your heart tell you that's going to happen?
He might leave.
You think he's going to leave? Yeah, I've got a similar feeling as well, and I think that after he got hooked,
was in the squad again today.
That's what I'm saying. Is after he got hooked at half time, hasn't played a minute since then. We played out in Plovdiv, which you really thought he would have got some minutes on. He didn't even travel with the squad, and today wasn't even in the squad again. So I mean, I think that does really tell a bit of the story of what's happening here.
Yeah, and I think he kind of is the odd man out in the squad at the moment in terms of how I see us playing this season. He's not really great in terms of on the break or anything like that. In terms of when we have possession, he's very inconsistent in terms of being having composure on the ball, being able to hang on to the ball. What he's great at is having moments on the pitch where he can really be decisive. But when you have players like the Celso, when you got Bale now coming in the team, these players are more consistent on the ball than someone like Dele Alli is. These players don't give it away as much as he does. So when you're trying to control possession and stuff like that, Dele Alli is not the type of player who really fits that kind of system, I feel. Obviously, he's a very talented player. I'd love him to stay. I love Dele Alli. I love the way he's progressed at Tottenham. But he has
not progressed, as the case may be, because there's an argument he hasn't progressed in 2-3 years.
Yeah, but, when he first started, he progressed very sharply, and then obviously it's been a decline now. So it's been 2 years now, really, where he's been off the boil. So is it a time where maybe he needs a fresh challenge? He's still only 24. He's got time on his side. He could reinvent himself at Tottenham probably if he wanted to. He still could stay. That's what they're saying. He still could be part of the squad come the end of the window. We're still not sure what the deal is, but there are some signs that he could be out the door. And if we do get him out the door, it could be maybe 40-50 million coming in our way.
Yeah, I mean, Dele Alli is a player that a lot of Tottenham fans hold close to their hearts. He's been there for many years now. How many years has he been at Spurs
5
now?
years.
He's been at Spurs for 5 years, grabbed the headlines in his first season, second season, absolutely smashed it. I mean, this guy, since then, has really plateaued or regressed, whichever way you want to look at it.
He's been good in moments and spurts, but he hasn't really had a consistent run of good games for a while.
He is kind of living off that season where he scored 20 goals or whatever he did. And since then, he hasn't really reached the consistent heights as we all know he can do. And I think when other teams started finding out his game, or he just kind of got lost in the game sometimes, and where, like you say, just produces moments. And I don't think he's ever found a way around that, or he's ever tried to find different ways in his game to adapt to the new style of play or whatever you have you. But if you ask me if I want Dele Alli to leave, I'll probably say no. I wouldn't want Dele Alli to leave. But if you were to say to me, you can get 40-50 million for Dele Alli and you can bring in a top centre-back for that money, I would say yes. And I'd bite your hand off for that, because as you could see on the pitch today, as you've seen for many, many weeks, we need a centre-back desperately, I think.
And with Bell coming in, the need for Dele is lessened.
Yeah.
Honestly, he can play central. Lamela can play central. Celso can play central. And Ndombele, as we saw today, can play central. There's a lot of players who can fill that role. So has he just become a bit of a player who can a bit dispensable?
I mean, he's part of the furniture at Tottenham. There's no two ways about it.
He's part of the family feel. As you said, he's seen the documentary. He considers a lot of the players his family, his friends.
I mean, do you see this could potentially happen as a loan?
That's what they're saying. Potential loan with an option to buy. So it might not be, even if he does leave, it might not be the end of him at Tottenham if he can have a good loan spell and maybe come back reinvigorated. But at the moment, something isn't right with him. In all honesty, something's not right with Dele. Hasn't been right for a while, and he needs to be shaken up a bit, because it's all well and good like giving him these messages like Mourinho did in the documentary and everything, and then he comes and plays good, but then he's off again.
Yeah.
So like, he's got to stop having these periods where he's off and on, off and on. It's just the problem is when he's not contributing, he's just so ineffective. That's the problem. He's got to come up with a way of being still effective on the pitch, even when he's not always having goals and assists. Yeah. And if he does that, then he has a better place in the team. But at the moment, he's just not. He doesn't contribute defensively that much when he's not playing well, and especially offensively, he's not great when he's not contributing goals and assists.
And when you compare him to a player like Lucas Moura, you would say probably Dele Alli is the more talented player out of him against Lucas Moura. Would you agree?
I think in terms of dribbling and speed, obviously Lucas wins out. But in terms of technical ability,
yeah. So you would probably agree Dele Alli is probably the better player out of them two. But when you compare the two players, Lucas doesn't put out the kind of numbers that he does in goals and assists sometimes. But when you look at the sheer work rate Lucas gives for the team and the defensive work he does for the team and winning the ball back and just the sheer effort, I think it's a no-brainer. I think if you were to pick between the two teams, you have to pick Lucas Moura at the moment.
I mean, you have to think about if you're a defender, who'd rather play against, Dele or Lucas? Probably.
I mean, Dele seems a bit easy to play against at the moment.
Like it seems like at the moment it's you can just out-muscle him. You can out strengthen him in the game, and he's kind of drifts.
Everyone knows the quality that Dele Alli has. He's just, in the last couple of years, he has gone off the boil. I know, even for a player that has gone so off the boil as to what he was, scores 8 goals a season. I mean, for most Premier League teams, a midfielder that scores 8 goals a season is a great return. But for the actual, what we know Dele Alli can do, we know Dele can hit those 15, 20 goal marks. And we know he's not playing at best. And something needs to happen to shake him up, like you said, and to bring him back to his best.
Yeah, so maybe a move might be the best thing. We'll have to wait and see, but looks like he might be off after, again, not being involved and all the noise coming out of the camp. But we'll have to wait and see, because there are conflicting reports on that one. All right, and let's move on to some more reports, and where are the reports from? But these are from reliable Dutch journalists. So from reliable Dutch journalists and papers claim that Weghorst is going to play his last game for Wolfsburg. I think it's today, and fly out to London tomorrow to sign for Tottenham. If any of you watched the Bale announcement video that we did, I claim that Weghorst and Ruben Diaz will be our last 2 signings of the window, and half of that may be coming true. Looks like he could well be on his way to Tottenham now. It looks like he's pointing in that direction. Obviously, he's Dutch himself, so the Dutch reports might be more reliable in that sense. He's 28 years old. He has only had 4 caps for Holland at 28, so that's not that impressive. But in his last 3 seasons,
he's had more than Vincent Janssen.
Yes, well, no, he hasn't. Janssen's had more, but in his last 3 seasons, 2 of them being in the Bundesliga, he has scored 51 goals in 97 games. Wow. So he's got a good return. He's a big, tall target man.
He's like a young Llorente, you know what I mean?
Exactly. He's 6'6", a bit like Luke de Jong, who didn't do well at Newcastle, might add. But the way we would want to use him, I think he might be perfect for that. So, have him in the centre. You have players laying off him. He's big, he's strong, he's really good in the air. He'll be good at the hold-up play. He's a target man that Jose wants. So this could be a good move for us. I'm not saying he's the perfect striker, but he's probably affordable. He's got a good goal-scoring record, 1 in 2 in the last 3 seasons in the Bundesliga as well, which isn't to be sniffed at. So I think this could be a good transfer. It looks like it could be getting over the line sooner rather than later. So this is one you're excited for? This is one that you want to happen? Look, he does excite me the way Daka excites me or Belotti, but he's one where you definitely say he's good. He can do a very good job. Like he could be a good backup striker for us. This one I see. If we sign someone like Belotti and someone like Daka, they're not strikers. What I'm saying, they're definitely backup. If we sign someone like Weghorst, I'm thinking he's going to be backup. Yeah. But he's a good backup.
but you back him to come in these Europa League games, the Carabao Cup games, and games where Kane needs a rest to do damage in these games.
Exactly, and I think he could be the perfect kind of foil for Kane if we need something to change it up when late in games to come on. We saw how effective someone like Llorente can be late in games to change it up, and I think he could also be. He's 6'6". Big, tall, strong striker who can also has an eye for goal. So it's one to be happy about. It's one to be excited about, but it's not like we're signing someone with a big scope to really either challenge Kane or anything like that. He's definitely coming in as a backup.
And what kind of fee do you reckon he commands?
Looks like maybe 20 million, 20, 25 million.
Well, we're going to spend that much.
Potentially.
And it was claimed, I think you told me this, that Wolfsburg are willing to let him go at a reduced fee because of the service he's given them.
Well, he's only given them 2 seasons, so I'm not sure if that's true. But he's had 2 good seasons for them, and it'll probably be a good move for him. It'll be a good move for him. Upgrade on club. Maybe he'll get more of a look in the national team, a team like Spurs. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's a good striker. AZ Alkmaar.
Another Vincent Janssen. Was he there?
Yeah. I think he actually might have been. When did he? No. He. I think he was at the time at the club the same time Janssen was. But the difference between him and Janssen, he's done in the Bundesliga as well. So that's positive.
All right, so there you have it. That is the Tottenham update for you. Dele Alli could be out the door. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are about that. And also, Weghorst as well could be coming in as a backup to Harry Kane. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on that. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.